prays for peace, for it is the soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. And that's by Douglas MacArthur. Dr. Aileen Marty discusses about the use of biological and chemical weapons. She mentions that they can be used for good and bad. And of reality, using this for the majority of the greater good is really all a matter of means. Just want to establish that up front. The thesis of this topic is that the biological weapons can be beneficial for medical research. It could injure or kill the enemy in war and be used for the greater good. The first chemical weapon was chlorine gas. The effects of chlorine gas attacked the respiratory system and made the enemy choke. Adjustments and modifications were used and it became mustard gas. The use of mustard gas against the British in the early wars took a toll on the British, taking out about 88% of their casualties, and the survivors spent 42 days in the hospital. Further on in time, several modifications and adjustments to sulfur mustard gas in war and conflicts. With it being a nasty thing to use, there had been anecdotal reports among French farmers, to sum it all up, stating that it could possibly be a cure for cancer. The Army and Navy saw this as an investment opportunity and invested in this research in sulfur mustard. The results concluded that taking out sulfur and adding nitrogen had many chemotherapeutic properties. Now, counter-arguments to this, a counter-argument that was stated was that it didn't affect just the enemies in war, but the people living in those countries. The people did not start anything, but their governments and military did. Another counter-argument was the fact that war isn't always the answer. The concept of brute force and intimidation makes people feel unsafe or on edge. That's not a good way to feel or to live life. Chemical and biological weapons can benefit people through medical purposes. Like mentioned before, that had many chemotherapeutic properties. Now, cancer is very, very big around the world. My grandfather had it. It's not the best thing, and he was in Vietnam, so having all that inside his system really took a toll on him in the long run. So, I mean, he had issues with it before, and now he didn't really take control of it because of the effects that he would have after if he had gotten taken care of. He wanted some things, and he didn't want to make those sacrifices to get rid of them in order to live longer. Dr. Aileen Marty supports the use of chemical and biological weapons. It is honestly a matter of means. This way of war can benefit medical research, stop the enemies, and can be used for the greater good.